remember hearing stories about witches. Is it true what they say?
Elves are the original sorcerers of the continent. When humans and monsters arrived, elves taught the humans how to turn chaos into magic. And then the humans slaughtered them.
Chaos is the most dangerous thing in this world. But without control, chaos will kill you.
So that's all life is to you? Monsters and money?
It's all it needs to be.
Something out there waits for you.
This child will be extraordinary.
Yennefer, imagine the most powerful woman in the world. Do you have what it takes?
Nilfgaard are here. She's why they came. You can't outrun destiny just because you're terrified of it. It's coming.
Find Geralt of Rivia.
I can't do this without you.
No matter what you choose, you'll come out bloody.
Hey guys, it's Fentony. Netflix have released the first footage of The Witcher. A lot of people had doubts about this series, but I think this trailer might have changed that. As always, we're breaking down the trailer scene by scene, talking about stuff inside of it, but with this one I'm gonna have to avoid book spoilers, because obviously this is an adaptation of the books. You know, if you've read the books, you know what happens in this series. I'm so used to talking about trailers, about TV shows and movies that we don't know the ending to, so no book spoilers in this video. It seems to be expanding on details such as Yennefer's backstory, which is mentioned in the books, but it's shown in this trailer. The trailer starts off with Geralt walking through a town, and a voiceover says he's heard stories of witchers. Basically, Geralt is a witcher, he's a mutated monster hunter. He's actually feared and hated by many common people. It seems like in the next shot he's fighting some sort of monster. Is this a Striga, which is a woman who's been turned into a monster by a curse? It's hard to tell as it's very dark, but it's an important story of The Last Wish. Remember, the first season seems to be adapting The Last Wish and Sword of Destiny, which are two books of volumes of short stories. But of course they're going to be adding backstories such as Yennefer's. The next shot seems to be the Dryads, which are the female inhabitants of Brokilon Forest, and Ciri's with them. The trailer seems to be setting up a lot of the lore of The Witcher. You know, its main job is to show casual people this is The Witcher, this is what it's all about. It talks about the elves being the original sorcerers who taught humans how to use magic, then the humans slaughtered them, took over the continent. During this dialogue there's several different shots, more Syrian Dryads, humans on horseback, more Yennefer backstories. If you don't know Yennefer's backstory, basically she was a hunchback. You can see from this trailer she's not the beautiful woman we know, and the woman next to her seems to be her mentor, Decide of Rees. It seems like Yennefer's backstory is going to be a massive part of season 1, and that's right because she's a massive character in the story. Her backstory is vital to who she is and how she feels about Geralt and Ciri. I'm glad they're showing this. More shots such as Geralt coming from behind a rock, Decide of Rees using magic to lift up a stone. If you don't know who Decide of Rees is yet, she's Yennefer's mentor, she's a member of the Chapter of Sorcerers, a rector at the magical school Artusa. She's an important magical figure, and she has a massive influence on Yennefer. It's very dark in the next shot. Could it be Geralt drawing his sword? There's lots of fighting going on. I think this could be Sintra, the home of Ciri, and some sort of woman is being dragged as she screams. And the voiceover giving us the details about the elves and the humans is a sorcerer called Istrid, who's a former lover of Yennefer. As you can see from this shot, Yennefer is not the beautiful woman we all know. She actually uses magic to alter her looks. I believe she's 90 so in the books, but she looks more like in her 20s. Altering your appearance is a very common practice in all sorcerers, or a majority of them anyway. Now this island here looks to be Fanif Island. Artusa is located there, so it's likely going to be involved in Yennefer's backstory, but it's also an extremely important location later on. But again, massive book spoilers, so we're not going to talk about that. And we do get a Decide of Rees voiceover, which is speaking to our students. A shot of Freya Allen as Ciri, and I think she looks amazing, perfect looking Ciri. I think this is her first proper massive role. She's been in some stuff before, but this is the big role she's had. You don't get much bigger than Netflix The Witcher. I think at this point Ciri's meant to be about 12 years old. Freya is a bit older than that, but it seems like they've cast the right person. I think she's going to do an amazing job. This is the Cintran coat of arms on fire. Again, massive book spoilers, but you can kind of work out what's happening. Could this shop be the Brotherhood of Sorcerers? Basically the main governing body of mages in the Northern Kingdoms. Yennefer sees a reflection in the mirror and she smashes it. She hates how she looks, and through her training she alters her appearance and becomes the beautiful woman we all know. I'm not sure on this shot on the carriage, but there's lots of death. Yeah, this is a very adult series, lots of violence, lots of sex. It's not a kid's show. Is this shot Geralt fighting the Striga from earlier? It looks like he's using the silver chain to bind it. Geralt's famous for his swordsman skills, but he's also used other weapons as well, and I'm sure in the books he uses a silver chain to bind a Striga. He's also riding on his horse Roach, and I've made a video on that recently explaining who Roach is. Basically it's his horse, it's always female, it's always called Roach, but it's not always the same horse. He calls all his horses Roach. And we've got more shots of him fighting the Striga. And it looks like we get the Striga's hand. We can't really see much of it yet, but Netflix have a big budget for this series. They want it to look amazing. I'm quite surprised we got this amount of footage at the moment, to be honest, because the series is meant to come out in December, that's the rumour anyway, but we know it's going to happen in the last quarter of this year. So there's still several months to go, and it's still in post-production. I imagine some of the CGI is not finished yet, so chances are once the series airs it's going to look even better. This looks like Triss Merigold. If you've played the games you know of her, or at least the games version of that character. She asks Geralt if his life's all about monsters and money, and we do see him collecting payment for a kill. Remember, Geralt's a witcher, he kills monsters for money, but he kind of has a code. He's not just a brutal killer. He'll kill a monster if it's dangerous, and at times he goes out of his way to prevent killings. Of course we're going to see Henry Cavill without his shirt on. I think this is after the Striga fight where he does get wounded. And then we get another shot, and I think that's before the fight. Obviously when the first teaser was released, that few seconds of him in the test footage, not many people were happy on his look, but his final look in this trailer is spot on in my opinion. This looks like Cintra, the home of Ciri, and that looks like Queen Calanthe, her grandmother. Obviously massive book spoilers here, so I'm going to avoid that. A Question of Price is definitely one of the most important short stories in the entire series. And this character looks like Ciri, but I think it's her mother Pavetta. She's a source like Ciri, and she carries the Elder Blood. There's a big focus on Ciri's backstory, and how she's going to be extraordinary. And there is a shot of her in a desert with a large tree, but I think that's from later on, maybe it's a vision. It has been a while since I read The Last Wish and saw her Destiny, so forgive me if I make any mistakes. Again, more Yennefer backstory for training. A lot of people are unhappy with Yennefer's casting, either if it was her skin colour, or looks, or age, or whatever. But Yennefer's a very complicated character, and from the trailer I think Anya's delivering an amazing performance, from what we've seen so far. I know it's just a trailer, but it's showing so much of her backstory, and even in the small shots we're getting a look at her acting. First shot of a battle in the series, obviously there's going to be battles. It looks like the Battle of Sodden Hill, which is a massive battle between the North and Nilfgaard, and we do see a character, and I think it is Calanthe in armour, but I'm not sure if she was at Sodden. I don't think she was. The Cintran lines are on her armour, and her soldiers do have it on her shields. I don't think she was at Sodden, I can't recall that, so maybe it's a change from the books, or maybe it's just the way the trailer's cut, and this is not at Sodden. But this is definitely the fall of Cintra. Nilfgaard are coming for Ciri. The next shot is definitely Ciri's mother Pavetta, again a massive scene from the books. Like I said earlier, she's a source and she possesses powerful magic, but she can't exactly control it. As you can see from the trailer, she releases a powerful wave of force that knocks people back. I'm not sure who this character is, could it be Ciri? Destiny's a massive theme in this trailer. Basically Geralt and Ciri are linked by destiny, but again massive book spoilers. Like I said so many times, it's hard to make a video like this without spoiling it, and I could potentially do that, but I don't want to upset people. I just want to use this video to give my thoughts on what's going on, explaining some stuff, but I'm not going to tell you guys what happens and spoil it. I don't see the point in that. I know many of you guys have decided to read the books before the series aired, but I also know many people won't even touch the books, and they want to go into this series completely in the unknown. We get a shot of Yennefer, who's no longer a hunchback. I must say I was a bit worried about the costumes in this series. There was some complaints about the Nilfgaardian armour, and it seems like that armour is in the show, but when it comes to like Geralt's armour and Yennefer's costumes, they look fabulous. A dying Calanthe tells Ciri to find Geralt, and Geralt is fighting in the streets. Could this be when he gains the title the Butcher of Blaviken? Again, that's another book spoiler, but let's talk about Geralt as a swordsman. He's pretty much the best swordsman in The Witcher. He has been beaten before, but if you fight him one-on-one with a sword, chances are you're going to lose. Even amongst Witchers, he's incredibly skilled as he went through further mutations. At the Comic-Con panel today, they made a big deal about Henry Cavill's swordsman skills, and the fact he's done all his own stunts. He seems to love the character of Geralt, which is great for the series. You need someone like that in the role. It seems like he's having a blast, the best time of his life. It looks like we go back to the Striga fight again, and Ciri tells her grandmother that she can't do this without her, and then she flees. Now we go on to the real adult stuff. Geralt, Yennefer, and a lot of naked people. Remember guys, I said before, this is not a kid's show. Violence, sex, magic monsters. We've got more shots of Geralt fighting, more shots of him showing off Henry Cavill's skills. Basically the trailer's main purpose is to set off the basic story, show you all the main characters, show you Geralt's skills, Ciri and Yennefer's backstories, and of course monsters. We get several shots of Sintra from the short story A Question of Price, basically how Ciri became to be Geralt's child of surprise. We get more shots of characters fighting, and this character with the hedgehog face is someone called Duny. Again, major book spoilers, and I'd love to talk more about this, but I just can't do it. Duny is extremely important, and of course he stands out with his face. More shots of the Dryads and Ciri, and I think Geralt's there as well. There's also characters on horseback. I'm not sure if that's Cahir and Ciri during the fall of Sintra. Yennefer's possibly shouting Geralt's name, and it looks like Geralt's using a sign. Basically, signs are a very simple but effective magic spell. Witchers can use magic, but they're not powerful mages like Yennefer or Tessaya de Vries. And we see Tessaya use some sort of lightning spell. And the trailer ends with some sort of giant spider creature rising from a swamp. I think it's pronounced a Kikimor, sorry about that mispronunciation if it happened. And we get probably the best shot in the entire trailer, a drugged up Geralt who's on some sort of Witcher elixir, or basically a potion. He uses them to help him fight monsters, such as becoming resistant to their poisons. Honestly, he looks badass, amazing trailer, can't wait to see more. We're still several months out, so obviously it's still in post-production, it's only going to get better. It looks like it's going to air sometime in December, or that's the rumour, but once we get confirmation I'll let you guys know about that. Like I said earlier so many times, it's hard to talk about certain events in this trailer without spoiling stuff, because this trailer has a lot of important stuff inside of it. You know, it's not just flashy skills with swords and magic, it's actually got some important stuff inside of it. But of course there's still a lot they haven't shown us yet. So guys, let me know what you think about the trailer. Did you think it was amazing like me? Are you more hopeful for the series now? Honestly, I've always been hopeful for the series, but I've had my doubts. But this trailer and the panel have only made me feel better. And from the reactions that I've seen on Twitter, everyone seems happy. Of course, I'm going to continue doing Witcher videos. I've been doing them for a long time now. If you want to see more videos from me about The Witcher and loads of other content, make sure you subscribe. And I'd really appreciate a like on this video as that helps the channel out a lot. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.